Ever start a race with a plan and it's completely thrown out the window by mile one? Same. I signed up for two different races. One of them was supposed to be a warm up chill one for the turkey trot. One of them was supposed to be my goal race, same distance. I somehow flipped them. Today I'm going to be breaking down two different 5 mile races I did and my first week of triathlon training. So first off, the two 5 mile races I did. So the first one I did was the turkey trot. Originally, my goal was to run at about a 9 minute pace, so that is kind of a shakeout race for the next week, because the next week is a race I've come in second place in before for my age group. So I wanted to try and repeat that. And so I wasn't trying to go all out, waste all of my energy. But then we started the race, and I am not good about not running all out, especially in the first few miles. So when I began, I was, weaving in and out of people. It was at like a 7 minute pace, and I was like, all right, I gotta slow down a lot. And I was like, all right, I feel like I'm at a comfortable pace. Check my watch, and I was running an 8:09 pace, and I'm like, well, guess this is what we're going with. So I just kept it cooking because I was feeling good, and ended up running an 8:09 pace. And I'm like, well, it is what it is. I can't do anything about it now. So then, fast forward to the next week. The race was on a Saturday. Friday night, massive snowstorm. And I'm like, oh, it should be fine. We got like 12 hours before the race. Should be able to, get plowed, salted out, like not have any issues with the roads or anything. I was wrong. I get there and I'm like, it's all ice. It's all snow. There's like nothing good to run on here. So I was like, well, we're just going to see what we can do. Then start the run. It's going good. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, wow, this is a lot of hills. I don't remember this race being this hilly. So I ended up running an 8:13 pace, which, all things considered, not too bad. I'm not going to complain about that. But still came in second place in my age group. So I was happy with that. So those two races were over the past 2-ish weeks or so. So now we're going to get into my first week of marathon and triathlon training. So to begin, I'm going to talk about my swimming because my swimming sucks. I am terrible. So my kick is terrible. Like I feel like it gives me zero power and wastes so much energy. And my pull is decent, but like still not great. Needs a lot of work. But I'm hoping with all the time that I will be able to improve enough to be able to swim the distance. So for biking, as I mentioned, we are in the deep of winter here, so it is way too cold to bike outside. So I'm only biking inside, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So I did one biking session this week because my goal is the marathon more than anything else. And swimming, I need to get good enough so I don't drown. So biking is kind of just the one that's going to be neglected for the time being, which is unfortunate because in terms of triathlon, that's where you can save the most time and become the fastest. At least that's what I've heard. Um, so I did one bike this week, 45 minutes, good for my aerobic base. I averaged 17.3 miles per hour with an average watts of 133. So pretty solid. Obviously nowhere near what like elite people are putting out, but considering it is my first bike in months, I'm pretty happy with that. So running this week has also been interesting because it has been so cold out. Like I think today when I'm recording this has been the hottest it's been in like a week and a half at a high of 14 degrees. So I've been dealing with some serious cold, and that's not even factoring in wind chill because wind chill makes everything worse. If you're from the Midwest, you know. So with the two races that I had done, my legs were shot, and so I kind of skipped my speed workout. I ended up doing incline treadmill walks, just kind of a zone two um, pace thing, just to make sure that I'm still getting at least steps in. Because I feel like part of training doesn't necessarily need to be all about running the mileage, but also just adapting your body to be on your feet for that long. So I think it was the right call to do that. I also had gotten new running shoes this week. Very exciting stuff. Only thing is if you guys have ever gotten new running shoes, you know that that is tough on your feet. Especially, I got mine with about half the millimeter drop as my previous running shoes. That is a pretty significant drop. I went from, I believe, 11 millimeters to my current ones are now 6. So my first run with them, feet were on fire. Like my feet went numb, couldn't feel them, so I ended up cutting that run short too. So this week was a little shorter on the mileage side, but I still like kind of got all my steps in. I still managed to do my long run. So in the end, like I didn't hit my goal mileage, but I still did everything in terms of listening to my body to recover and still be able to continue on with training while not destroying myself. The training isn't always going to be perfect 100%, and you just have to build up all the mileage and all the things that you can do to at least allow yourself to progress week by week to hit whatever your goal you're aiming for, whether that be training your first triathlon or running a marathon, running even 1 mile. As long as you're doing some continuous progress towards that, you are taking steps towards that goal, which that is what is most important, and that's what I'm telling myself to make sure I don't overdo it and injure myself, and then that really sets you back instead of taking the time to recover. So I think moving forward, this is going to be more the style I plan on doing each week, where I kind of do a face to face, maybe with some background footage of either my run, bike, swim, whatever I have footage of, I guess. Still getting a little used to recording myself in different places, so bear with me there. But we will then have like the face to face with going over what my training was for the week, and I think that is going to be what I try and do week to week. And hopefully, I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.